Law Minister Salman Khurshid's press conference is about to begin. Let's cut across and listen in live. Images coming to you from Law Minister Salman Khurshid's residence, where he and his wife, as you can see on screen, are about to address a press conference and take questions as well. Just about a couple of hours ago, Arvind Kejriwal put down 5 specific questions for the Law Minister and called for his resignation. Salman Khurshid is about to address a press conference. He's going to make an opening statement. He has promised to put down a full defense. Let's listen in. He's about to speak just seconds from now. Let's hope he takes up those specific allegations that have been made by Arvind Kejriwal. Let's see if he does. Our information is that Salman Khurshid has said that he will put forward documentary evidence as a counter to the allegations that have been made specifically against him in the running of the Zakir Hussain Memorial Trust run by his wife Louis Khurshid, and he is a trustee on that trust as well. Let's listen in. Salman Khurshid live right here on Headlines Today's investigation Operation Ritra.
I appeal to you to hear us. Hear me in silence. Please hear me in silence. Your silence will be rewarded. Your silence will be rewarded because you will get good copy. And if you are not silent, you will not get good copy. I want to first give you. I want to first say to you, let us work out the ground rules. Let us work out the ground rules of this press conference, please. Important. Important for this reason that this press conference will not be the last one, I assume. We will have to have more press conferences as we go along. This is a story that will evolve and develop. And if we get the ground rules right, let us work out the ground rules. Let us work out the ground rules of this press conference, please. Important. It's important for this reason that this press conference will not be the last one, I assume. We will have to have more press conferences as we go along. It's a story that will evolve and develop. And if we get the ground rules right, I will be facilitated in being able to give you the truth and the correct position from time to time. The ground rules today are that this press conference is being addressed not to answer, I repeat, any person in the street who decides to raise questions or to make allegations or accusations. We will come to that at a subsequent press conference, because those people are making allegations against my party. This is not an allegation against my party. This is an allegation against a trust that I head, and an allegation against a trust that I consider to be an extremely valuable part of my life. These are allegations about that trust. Sadly, these allegations have been made by Aaj Tak India Today group, and therefore I'm sorry that much of my press conference will be addressed at them. And for their benefit, I must say two things very quickly. My instinct was not to invite Aaj Tak and India Today for this press conference. My instinct. And of course, they can argue my instinct was wrong, as they've argued about a lot of other things. And I can argue that my instinct was right. But I'm a Democrat, and I believe in freedom of the press. It was several people in the media who said to me that we collectively have a view that prevails from time to time whenever such issues arise, that we believe everybody should be able to participate in a press conference of this nature. I bow to that point of view. I'm a Democrat, and I would, in any gathering, go by the opinion of the majority. Certainly, if it happens to be a unanimously held opinion, why not? I will go by that opinion. I wanted to ask all of you whether it would be right for me to resist my instinct and invite India Today and Aaj Tak. As far as this issue was concerned, a couple of you outside said to me, it's only fair if they come, and they should come. And I wanted everybody to participate in that decision, but they felt that may not be necessary. I bow to that opinion as well, and therefore I'm happy to invite India Today correspondents and various other people who have come from the Aaj Tak establishment. The third thing that I want to say to them, because they are not, as far as I'm concerned, people who necessarily are responsible for editorial policy of the magazine. I know that people at the top decide editorial policy, and therefore I do not in any way hold an angst against those who've reported. I may have a personal issue with them, but I have no angst as far as I'm a public figure against those who have reported, and I genuinely and honestly hope what they have done, they at least believe to be honest and true. These are the set rules that I urge you to accept, and I hope that you have no difficulty, all of you, in accepting the ground rules by which we'll do this press conference. If Aaj Tak have a problem, they can say me they have a problem. If they don't, on these ground rules, we will proceed. I think that you people are by and large happy with this. Now let us settle 2 or 3 other issues. I know that it will not be easy for you to accept those issues, but as I said, this is an evolving story, and we will talk maybe not once but many times. Maybe we will talk one-on-one as well. Maybe you will do your tic-tacs as well. But the other rules are not as strong as the rules I suggested before, but certainly important rules, is that I will substantially establish that the core issue is very clear and categorical, and I will not only defend but prove that the core issue is clear and categorical. The core issue is, any one of you have a problem, please tell me now. The core issue is that 71 lakhs were given to a trust which I head of, the trust in which the project director is Louis, and that those 71 lakhs were supposed to be spent on 17 camps to be done in UP, that none of those camps were held, and therefore obviously the money has been diverted. This is the core issue. If anyone has a disagreement with this, please say now. There are other issues that have emerged. Which are related issues to this. Either they've emerged to prove a point one way or the other, or there are issues that can stand alone by themselves. But the intensity of that issue, I believe, will take from the core issue. Were the camps held? The core issue, and that's the core issue that I will address today. We will continue to talk about the other things in due course, but the core issue is what I will address today. Secondly, it is true, and I say this in front of all of you, it is true that not once, but at least 3 times, Aaj Tak and India Today offered to carry our part of the story. This is true. And therefore, their claim that they've pursued and followed journalistic ethics cannot be denied in entirety. But I will deny journalistic ethics that they follow as the story unfolds in front of you. Clearly, it is their homework and clearly it is their story. The rest of you have followed that story. Some people reluctantly, some people not so reluctantly, and new issues have emerged on which new stories are coming out. No problem. Each issue will be tackled at the appropriate manner, appropriate time. The core issue is what I will tackle today. On the 8th of October, as I understand, the story was aired on 9th of October. On the 8th of October, we were pleased to receive from one Mr. Arun Puri of India Today Group, and he was responding to documents that we had given to him and to his other colleagues, detailed documents about the holding of the trust. None of the other issues, about the holding of the trust. And as a consequence of trying to answer the other issues, we received from the UP Viklang office a copy of an affidavit that was filed by a particular gentleman who was at the time in that district where the trust was holding the camp and who subsequently was transferred to Uttar Pradesh. That person denies that he gave that affidavit. Very clear. That person denies that he gave that affidavit. So, that story remains. We will handle that story when we move forward. This is mentioned in the India Today letter, Arun Puri's letter, where very clearly he said that as for the affidavit given by Mr. J.B. Singh, presently Registrar of Lucknow University, saying that his signatures were authentic and not forged, I regret to inform you that we have evidence to the contrary. Terrific. Evidence to the contrary that the affidavit could be wrong was not clear from this language. That evidence to the contrary that this affidavit itself is forged is not clear from this. Doesn't matter. Nothing turns on it. What is important is that we go back to the core issue. And the core issue is Mr. J.B. Singh. Mr. J.B. Singh, you will be pleased to know that this is the picture of Mr. J.B. Singh giving out the implements at the camp which he today, according to the implications and the insinuations that we have got. Copies of all this will be available to you. Mr. J.B. Singh. There are 2 pictures. 1 minute. Okay. And this is the instrument given. This is the instrument given. Okay. You must have seen the pictures, no? So I don't need to give you copies. You must have the pictures. You must have the pictures. J.B. Singh must have given you the pictures, no? Well, I'm just mentioning it. No, we're coming to the question. No. This is not, I say this. This is the first time the Law Minister of the country is saying, these are not morphed pictures. These are... I just asked you may have the pictures. 17/7/2010 लिखा हुआ है 17/7/2010 लिखा हुआ है. Don't worry, na, I'm not. Please, what were the rules of the game? Just a minute. No. Everybody is listening. I said you must have these pictures. I didn't say anything more. I said you must have these pictures. Answer is Listen, please hear. The rules of the game, I will call off this press conference. The rules of the game were, I'm answering the core issue. If all of you want me to answer, did I ask a question? I said these pictures must be available with you. These pictures must be available, that's all. No, this is important to me. This is important for me because you will be the first to judge what I am saying. The people you show will be the second to judge what I am saying. I only said, since you guys didn't go, these pictures must not be with you. Some people went there, these pictures must be available with them. These are not morph pictures. These are not pictures that anybody can deny. And I am saying on full authority that these are pictures of the camp that was held in which J.B. Singh in Mainpuri. He was then the official then, and J.B. Singh signed this, was present in these camps. Okay? I'm not saying please exonerate everybody. I'm not saying close the story. This is just the beginning. Just the beginning, a story. Okay? There was some camp held. There was some camp held at which Mr. J.B. Singh was personally present. His name is on the backdrop. The date is on the backdrop. And the trust's name is on the backdrop. Fortunately, you can't say that he distributed this on behalf of somebody else. We still remain with the story. No camps were held. We still remain with that story. ETA camp wasn't held. Okay, ETA camp. Dainik Jagran is here or not, I don't know. But Dainik Jagran are also running the story. Camps were not held. They don't read. They don't go back into the archives. And what do we have? 20th July 2010. Kamzor Varg Ka Hit Sarvopriya Salman Khurshid. ETA camp. ETA camp. Salman Khurshid. I personally inaugurated this camp. Okay? So we've got that story. Sant Ravidas Nagar. 10 विकलांगों को दी गई tricycle. Sant Ravidas Nagar. Where they have said camp has not been held. Camp has been held. Camp has been held. Fortunately, I have three people here who in front of you will identify themselves and say their camps were held in their supervision in their district. One person is from the distinguished family. One person is from the distinguished family of a former foreign minister of our country. From Bulandshahr, R.P. Singh.
I had the camp in Bulandshahr.
Okay, so the camp was held. Ajay Shukla. Bareilly, the camp was held. Ajay Shukla.
The camp they said never got held.
The camp they said was never got held. Here's the picture of the officials and the camp. Picture of the officials and the camp.
Bareilly.
You will get copies of all this.
This is the list of all the people who held the camp.
Okay. We have a list of all the people who held the camps. I will read out the list. You can get a copy. Allahabad, Amarnath Mishra, who was the president of the Congress. Aligarh, Vivek Bansal, MLC. Bareilly, Ajay Shukla is here. Bulandshahr, R.P. Singh, Shivpal Singh. R.P. Singh is here. ETA, Ajay Anmol, who's the local farmers leader there. Etawah, Anil Mishra, Yugraj Bhaduria, who are two very, very important members of the Congress party. Farrukhabad, my own guy, Uzair Ali Khan, held it. Kannauj, Munna Rab and Usha Dubey, who's president of the Congress. Kashiram Nagar, one gentleman called Ishtiyaq. Mainpuri, Prakash Pradhan. Meerut, Tarachand Shastri, former minister of UP government. Rampur, Sanjay Kapoor, MLA. Sant Ravidas Nagar, Rizwan Ahmed, one of the biggest exporters of carpet from Sant Ravidas Nagar. Siddharth Nagar, Ishwar Chand Shukla, MLA. Muradabad, Muhammad Azzuddin, MP. Shahjahanpur, Zilla Viklang Kalyan Adhikari in this particular year, and Jitin Prasad, my colleague, in the previous year. This is a list that you can take. Camps were held. Or you can say that all these guys are liars, you can say. Azzuddin Sahib is here. So the camps were held. Azzuddin Sahib is here. Nobody has said that the camps were deficient. Nobody ever has said the camps were symbolic. The allegation is no camps were held. And I have shown to you that camps were held. Now, let us now take up very quickly. No questions. No questions till I ask you to ask questions, after which I will answer. Now let us take up very quickly what was said on 8th of October by Mr. Arun Puri. Mr. Arun Puri, I won't read the whole letter, it takes too much time. I personally got involved in this story and have gone through the official letters, documents, and also your clarifications. Thank you, Arun Puri. I have a high regard for Salman and wish there were more people like him in politics. 8th of November, 8th of October, 9th of October, Salman is the worst person to have on the face of the earth. Anyway, then he goes and explains, etc., and says, very rightly, done sterling work, but we have found cases where the important documents have been forged. We are not on the story of documents being forged. We will come to that, not escaping it. But this is on 8th of October. How remarkably Arun Puri's mind must have changed between 8th of October and 9th of October, or sad to say, Arun Puri's correspondents don't pay attention to what Arun Puri thinks, which may be a good thing, really gives much greater freedom to the media and to the, and I'd be very careful about seeing how much of this gets reproduced in which channel, so that we will get to know how much of freedom there is. Then amongst the documents given was the Viklang Camp newspaper story, but of course, as Arun Puri knows, newspaper stories are not always honest and not always straightforward. Okay, so this is the core area of the camps being held. Now, before you ask a question, that the CAG in a draft report, which some of you have kindly actually shown as a report, but the CAG in a draft report has said no camps were held. Therefore, 71 lakhs should be returned with interest. CAG has said that. One of the things that the CAG report says is that we sent people to a certain address in Okhla to get the point of view of the trustees. Nobody was available there. Once, twice, third time. Understandable? My old father, who is the founder of the trust, my old mother, both of them not in good enough health to be able to travel every day, remain in that house permanently. My three sisters and their families live in that place, where the CAG went and could not find anybody. I understand. It could have happened. But if you don't find somebody at an official address, what do? You leave a call card, you leave a letter, you leave a request saying, we wanted to get in touch, we can't get in touch, can you please get in touch? Didn't do that. Doesn't matter. It happens. Sometimes in a hurry you go, and it happens that that you can't get hold of anyone. Of course, I'm not saying this seriously. I'm just saying this in jest. Please take it that this is in jest. Of course, it is not being said seriously. But if they were looking for Salman Khurshid, or they were looking for Louis Khurshid, or they were looking for Dr. Zakir Hussain Trust, they just had to look over the wall. The CAG lives next door. Didn't have to go very far. The CAG lives next door. And I must acknowledge that when the CAG was told that your draft report says this, he said we never were given the documents. And if you give the documents, we will be very happy to factor them into our final report. This is only a draft report submitted to the ministry for giving their comments. Now, of course, one of the issues in that is that there is no utilization certificate, that there is no audited account, and there is no proof of this having been done. This, I am afraid, is not, and you can be sure, no matter how many cameras you take to these people, you can go to Mr. Uma Shankar, who's the chartered accountant. Scheme of assistance to disabled persons for purchase of fitting of aids and appliances. Utilization certificate 23 2011. 23 2011.
Read out the amount.
No, the amounts are all there.
I want just to read.
The amount is certified. 71 lakhs is that you said that we have diverted, disappropriated or diverted 71 lakhs. Certified that out of a total sum of rupees 77 lakhs 87,065 spent on ADIP camps held in 2009 and 10, only the sum of 71.50 lakhs was by way of assistance from the Ministry of Social Welfare and Empowerment, and the remaining 6 lakhs 37,065 was by ways of donations from private individuals and establishments. Utilization certificate.
Submitted to India.
Submitted to India Today. India Today did not look at it because they assumed, presumably, that this was forged. Utilization certificate.
No, they kept flashing.
Yeah, just give me. I want audited accounts. No, audited accounts. You have audited accounts.
Yeah, this is
The audited accounts at the back. 4-page thing. Audited accounts at the back.
indicating
And
how much to
and the
each
payments are there just for your reference. Aids and appliances for handicapped Aligarh. Aids and appliances for handicapped Itawa. Aids and appliances for handicapped Farrukhabad. Aids and appliances for handicapped Eta. Aids and appliances for handicapped Menpuri. Aids and appliances of Sant Ravidas Nagar and so on and so forth. All of them here. All of them here. Now, let me just tell you, because I don't know how many of you do this good work. Certainly, one gentleman in the streets who carries around Viklangs who have motor Viklang things. We don't do that. We don't do that because the money that's supplied by Government of India can only go for cycle rickshaws, cannot go for phat-phats. Now, of course, he is in the phat-phat range, Ford Foundation and Company. So he's in a phat-phat range. He may have a problem. But let me just explain how this happens. You hold a camp. You hold a camp. You bring doctors. The doctors examine the patients, decide whether they should be given appliances. When the appliances are agreed, they measure for the appliances. Not everybody gets an appliance that fits all. And when they measure the appliances, an order is placed with government agencies. And the order that is placed with government agencies for 3,46,000 for delivery at Aligarh in UP, for instance, is here. The order that was placed. Money didn't disappear. Order was placed. These things came. People here are saying the camps were held. These were not sold in the market. And if they were, you could have done a sting. Handicap cycles, 37. Wheelchair adult, 10. Wheelchair child, 10. Crutches left, 20. Crutches male, 20. Crutches small, 20. Walker, 5. Walking stick, 10. Blind stick, 5. And that's it. Only reading one. Don't want to read everything else for you. Okay?
These are all the districts.
These are all the districts.
Hearing
The
aids.
purchases are all there.
These are
The hearing aids also, including the hearing aid that you managed to get, had not been given, is all here. It's all been bought. Okay? These are all hearing aids. So this is about the camps. The camps were held. The camp documents were given to the ministry. Having given the documents to the ministry, why they didn't get to the CAG, I don't know. But CAG are very happy to receive the documents, and the documents will be given to CAG. They will be given to CAG. And I hope that the CAG will then come with an appropriate answer. Because it has been alleged that no camps have been held. It has been alleged that no camps have been held, something that we were not even told when Aaj gave us the documents that they submitted. We had no option but to file a defamation suit against Aaj in the Delhi High Court, and the suit will now be listed in the next couple of days, and then we will know what the judges think of what the Aaj has said and what we have said. We are not happy to do this. I'm not happy to go against a newspaper. I like newspapers. I didn't become a spokesperson for nothing, and I did feel that I had a very good relationship with the media, and I respected the media. But allow me to say this, that this has come as a big question mark on my feelings and my understanding of the media. Not everybody, but some, and I actually acknowledge that some of you have sent me messages saying we are not all the same. Thank you. I know that you're not all the same. I only now want to figure out why some are different from you. Now, having said all that, the fact that we filed the case, we have no option but to file more cases, and more cases are going to be filed in the next few days. I also have to give you the good information that people who are associated with the trust and value the trust and cherish the trust feel that the matters should also be taken to courts outside India, including in England, where fortunately or unfortunately the channels are shown. And I want to share this as a personal sense of hurt. 38 years after I landed in Oxford University on the 10th of October, my college invited me. They wanted me to lecture to the law faculty, and they wanted me to lecture to the Indian students on unity, not uniformity in the politics of modern India. On judicial activism to the law faculty. I was taken to the high table. I was given the greatest honor that any ex-student can be given. And while I was there being feted and praised, and people were taking my autographs, young law students from India were taking my autographs, India Today and Aaj Tak were running the story, saying what a bad man the Law Minister of India is. And people were embarrassed to ask me, why is this happening? And I have to say again what you have heard from me here just now, and of course something that I will have to say in future as well. So if people want matters to be filed in London, I am sorry, I can't hold them back. It's just a bit of information that I'm giving you, not bravado, but I actually feel, and don't be in a hurry to think that I'm going to run away from the other questions. I'm coming to the other questions as well. I feel hurt, and I wonder who in this country would reach out to the destitute, reach out to the disadvantaged and the unfortunate people, if even a person who's at my level in politics is to be dragged through the dirt in this manner. Who will have the courage? I have many reasons that convince me why this is being done. I won't give them to you today. We will talk about it. Today it doesn't matter why it's being done. Today it's being done. That is what's important, it's being done. Okay? Now, let us come to a cherry on the cake as far as India Today is concerned. Cherry on the cake. Yeah, cherry on the cake. They did a sting. If they want to withdraw from saying they did a sting, they are happy. I will be happy to let them withdraw. I kept saying to them, you haven't done a sting, don't pat yourself for a sting. You've done a source story. It's a source. Somebody who feels something wrong has been done is a source. You don't want to disclose the man's name? Fine. Legitimate. But it's a source story. And the source also has given you a story that we ourselves have been struggling with for the last 1 year. We have been saying, why are these questions being asked? Please investigate. Please inquire. Please come to the bottom of it. Please find the truth. We have been saying this, both to the central government here, ministry, as well as to UP government. And it was in culmination of this that the director, Louis Khurshid, went and met the chief minister. In the culmination of this. And on the 3rd of October, which I don't know if Times of India is here, sadly said that she went to get more money. She went to get an inquiry order. And now we have from the UP government, hopefully not a forged letter, saying that inquiry was ordered on the 3rd. Do we have that?
but they have put it on for
कृपया मुख्यमंत्री उत्तर प्रदेश को संबोधित अपने पत्र दिनांक 17/9/2012 का संदर्भ ग्रहण करें और कष्ट करें, जिसमें आपने डॉक्टर जाकिर हुसैन मेमोरियल ट्रस्ट के वर्ष 2009-2010 के विकलांग कल्याण परीक्षण रिपोर्ट के सत्यापन के पुनः जांच कराए जाने का अनुरोध किया है। अवगत कराना है कि आपका पत्र अग्रतर जांच कार्यवाही हेतु प्रमुख सचिव विकलांग कल्याण उत्तर प्रदेश को प्रेषित कर दिया गया है। उक्त प्रकरण में की गई कार्यवाही के उपरांत पुनः आपको सूचित किया जाएगा। This is a letter given on 17th of September, and a reply to that letter is of 3rd of October 2012. And yet, stories run by India Today are saying we've got an inquiry ordered. This is there. However, earlier to this, and that's based on the letter that was sent by the Department of Social Welfare to the trust, saying we've received some information from UP and we need a clarification on that. Such a letter did come to us, about which Mr. Arun Puri has said Arun Puri had originally said that this is an inquiry ordered by the central government. We said no, it was a clarification sought, and he said
we received a notice.
Said that we received a notice. You're sitting here, you said we received the notice. He said this is all semantics. This is all semantics. A man is a good one day, bad another day is semantics. A letter given for clarification and a notice given is semantics. A mere question asked and a formal inquiry being held is semantics. Be that as it may be a favorite word of India today, semantics, so we will leave it at that. The point is, yes, it is true. It is true that there was a letter to the central government saying 10 people have denied their signatures. True, there was such a letter. True, either that the camps were not held or that their signature is not on the test check report. Clear, not running away from it. There was such a letter. It was that letter that we wanted further investigated or checked by the UP government. That is what the context was in which we went. Now my feeling is that somebody somewhere sitting in some office which is feeding India Today is also the person who is worried about the inquiry. Too much will come out. Too much will come out, and what they've been doing for years would immediately be exposed. They were worried. So they immediately said, please have this story carried. Maybe that's the reason. Maybe there is another reason. But it doesn't matter. The story got carried. It still remains to establish whether camps were held or not. I think I have proved today that the camps have held. That UP government doesn't have to do anything about whether the camps were held or not. I proved it. But the last thing that is left now by way of allegation are three things. One, report saying in these following districts, the check test report is not signed by me. X. Somebody saying it is not signed by me. One thing, important. Second one, the affidavit supposedly given by Mr. J.B. Singh, denied by Mr. J.B. Singh. Yes, no problem. Third, now they've come up with another story saying the letter written originally by some Mr. Yadav could not have been written because Mr. Yadav had retired. Three things.
That never came up from the minister.
Three things. This has to be investigated. It will be investigated. I am willing that this be investigated by anybody, including the CAG. But none of this turns in any way the truth about the camps being held, which I have shown to you that the camps have been held. Now I want to give you all a new thing today. I've told you that India Today said they did a sting. It was actually source information. But what we have done is a thing called reverse sting. You know what reverse swing is? You know what a reverse swing is? You are here, you know. You know what a reverse swing is? We've done a reverse sting. We have got some documents and we've got some recordings of people who were fooled by the India Today story, by the India Today group, saying, we will give you something new if you say you got nothing. And they said, because they said they will give us something, we said we got nothing. Okay? We will show that to you. It's coming. It's coming. Anybody wants exclusive, we'll give you exclusive. Run it on them. No problem. But that's called a counter sting. That's called a counter sting. And India will now go through counter stings. But the explanation for these three things have to be done. One explanation will come because the report has been asked for by the UP government. We will request the UP government also to include in this inquiry or in this investigation or in this research that they are doing also the issue about the affidavit from Lucknow and also the letter written by Mr. Yadav. No problem at all. None of these documents have any value if they come through a private person. They have no value if they come through a private person. Just as there would be no value about what India Today says unless it came from Mr. Arun Puri. Whatever letters come from any official, rightly or wrongly, would have gone directly to the government. And the government departments have to see whether that letter is there or not, whether they believed it or they didn't believe it. On none of these letters does anything about the camp's turn, including Mr. Yadav's letter. There are 17 letters from district magistrates, and there are letters from the department at different levels that have been included in deciding whether further camps should be held. 17 camps are not given to an organization that is not held in high esteem. 17 camps are given to an organization that has a history, that has a standing, that has recognition. 17 such, what is this?
This is the first check, 21 points which they check before they give a return.
Zilla Adhikari Farrukhabad, Ram Anurag Verma. He gave Ram Anurag Verma on 24th of November 2010. It's not one guy who writes a letter. False, forged, real or unreal. There are several officials who write letters and then Government of India decides what to do. That's Farrukhabad. This is Rampur. Same thing. Same thing from Rampur. What they have to do is to do several things on check. And this is from... There is Rampur, there is Shahjahanpur, there is Kashiram Nagar and Bareilly. All the camps that you said have never been held, these documents are here. Okay? So those three things have to be inquired. We are happy. Most of this was given to India Today, by the way. I think almost all of it was given to India Today, except that picture. Now, of course, there are some details that we are not going to give you today, because you have your fingers. You can go and persuade people. Anything can happen. Let's get that bit of information and we'll give that too. Nothing on 71 lakhs, nothing on the camps, not a word said by India Today can be proved by them. Not one word can be proved by them. And I would like to see what happens to them in court. They can scream and scream and scream about documents that are claimed to be forged. They can scream till they're blue in their face, and we'll have to use a blue margin rather than a red margin for India Today. And it'll become India Yesterday. But not a word about the camps they can prove. And over the next few days, all this will come out right there. And I will request some of you, how far they've reached. I will request some of you, what? I will request some of you, while we offer you something to drink, the Viklangs, not the rented Viklangs that come when they protest, but Viklangs who got their cycles. And sorry, I can only arrange for them to get tricycles. I can't arrange for them to get putt-putts. The Viklangs that got the cycles and Viklangs that were assisted by us in substantial number are coming here today, and they are reaching. You can talk to them. I will move away. You can take them aside and you can talk to them. You can offer them more cycles if you like, and they may give you what you want to hear from them. You are also invited. You're also invited to go to the 17 districts anytime without telling us. Go to the 17 districts and speak to the Viklangs. But a little more information I'm going to hold back. Because I was told when I was very young various ways of expressing people's condition, and one was marta kya na karta. Marta kya na karta. Therefore, I will try that we don't reach a point where marta kya na karta becomes another issue for me. My Viklang friends have reached where? They've reached Kalindi Kunj. You can wait a little while. Let them come here, talk to them, meet them, take their interviews if you want, and then decide what you want to run. All I am saying is, it is not anything to do with Salman Khurshid, the Law Minister. I did this before I became the Law Minister. I got the first scam from the NDA government. I started my life with Viklangs when the first girl who used to crawl on the floor, I took one cycle from Mahavir Viklang Samiti. I took one tricycle and took it to her and I gave it to her. And she could then, from there on, move to go to college, then get married and run some little business. I took first tricycle and I felt I was nobody at that time. And I felt that was a very difficult task. Today we have gone into thousands of people, not just in UP, but across the country. And I have to today ask myself, is this something that I must continue to do? Or is it something I must wash my hands off? But then I ask myself that if I can be bullied into giving up something of compassion, something which is good for humanity, I hate to think what other people will have to suffer and what other people will have to do. Today I have to fight, not for myself, lest somebody believe that I have to fight for myself. Today I have to fight for an idea. Today I have to fight for compassion. And today I have to fight for humanity. May sound a little bit loudmouth, but that is what I intend to do. That is what I will continue to do. And that is what I believe I am mandated to do. Huh? No. I will be asked a question by you as to whether, if there is something of a question mark on my credibility, integrity and honesty, what is the right thing for me to do? I will be happy to take an extreme decision in this matter. But today, the battle is between me and Arun Puri. I will submit my resignation if Arun Puri steps down from India today. And we'll fight it out on every channel. Whoever wins gets both the ministry as well as the channel. Okay, that's my offer. Now, one last ground rule. Let us answer some questions. But let's do the questions in such a way that everybody is able to ask a question. We can start from one end and then, or if you all agree, we give the right of first appearance to India Today, something that they will not give me, but I give it to them.
सवाल है जो एफिडेविट का, जब आपका रिप्लाई आया, जवाब आया, तो आपने कहा कि जो अधिकारी हैं जेबी सिंह, ये मैनपुरी का, इन्होंने जिनकी आपने फोटो दिखाई और इन्होंने अपने चेकलिस्ट में, इन्होंने अपने हलफनामे में जो आपने भेजा था, इस हलफनामे में इन्होंने लिखा है कि मैं जनपद मैनपुरी के कार्यालय में डॉक्टर जाकिर हुसैन द्वारा आयोजित शिविर में के टेस्ट चेक पर मेरे हस्ताक्षर हैं और ये मैंने प्रेषित किए हैं। जब हम जेबी सिंह से मिले
उन्होंने कहा ये नहीं है।
तो उन्होंने कहा कि ये मैंने हलफनामा नहीं भेजा, ना मेरे हस्ताक्षर है। और जो चेकलिस्ट है, ये जो मेरे पास चेकलिस्ट है मैनपुरी का जिसका आपने जिक्र किया, उसमें जेबी सिंह के साइन नहीं है, और जो साइन है वो इसमें तपस्वी लाल के हैं और जिला ब्लॉक डेवलपमेंट अधिकारी के हैं, और दोनों ने कहा है कि हमारे हस्ताक्षर नहीं है। तो ये क्या मामला है? एफिडेविट एक तो
सुनिए ना, समझ गए। इस मामले को दो तरह से जवाब दे सकते हैं। क्या हुआ, नहीं आ रहा? इस मामले के दो तरह से जवाब दे सकते हैं कि कैंप नहीं हुए, अरे यार आपका इक्विपमेंट भी आपका साथ नहीं दे रहा है यार, थोड़ा दिल से बात करो ना।
नहीं सर, दिल से बात कर रहे हैं, आप तो दिल से ही बात
सुनिए ना,
दिल से तो महीने भर से
सुनिए। मैं अंग्रेजी में बोला था,
जी।
मैं अंग्रेजी में बोला था, शायद आप समझ नहीं पाए। हिंदी में आप चाह रहे हैं उसका अनुवाद। मैंने आपसे कहा था कुछ रूल्स ऑफ द गेम है, सब लोगों ने सुना होगा। रूल्स ऑफ द गेम टुडे कि कैंप्स हुए हैं, मैं आज प्रूव करूंगा। हस्ताक्षर क्या हुए, किसने किए, कैसे किए, इसके लिए जांच हो रही है। इस पर मैं अभी बोलूंगा तो मैं जांच कैसे कराऊंगा?
नहीं, जो कोर इशू है ना सलमान,
कोर इशू नहीं है
सलमान साहब, कोर इशू यही है, स्टोरी का कोर इशू यही है।
बात सुनिए ना,
10 जगह 10 जिलों में कैंप नहीं लगे और फर्जी चेकलिस्ट दी गई, और ये चेकलिस्ट लुइस जी ने जमा करी है भारत सरकार को।
प्लीज,
यही तो स्टोरी है।
अगर आप सही हैं, अगर आप
और
सही,
उसको प्रूव करने के लिए आपने एक एफिडेविट दिया, जो एफिडेविट नकली निकला।
प्लीज आप मेरी बात सुनिए। मेरी
मेरे
प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस है कि आपकी है?
जी,
आपकी प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस है कि मेरी है?
नहीं, मेरा सवाल आप
मैं सबसे ये पूछा, बात सुनिए, प्लीज लिसन, प्लीज लिसन, बात सुनिए। मैंने यहाँ आने से पहले सबसे इसलिए
मेरा सवाल तो लीजिए, इस पे इतना
यार आपका सवाल ले रहा हूँ।
अरे इतनी नाराजगी,
सुनिए ना।
अरे चिल्लाइए नहीं साहब,
अरे सुनिए ना,
इतना चिल्लाइए नहीं, आप नाराज हो रहे हैं। सलमान भाई नाराज हो रहे हैं।
नहीं
भाई
आप मेरी बात सुनिए।
सलमान,
आप मेरी बात सुनिए,
आप मेरा सवाल सुनिए।
आप मेरा सवाल सुनिए। आप मेरे
सवाल आपने मुझे कहा तो मुझे सवाल तो सुनाने दीजिए।
आप मेरा, मैंने आपका सवाल पूछ लिया, आप सुनिए, आप बात सुनिए। मैंने सबसे कहा था कोर इशू आज कैंप्स हुए कि नहीं हुए, कोर इशू है
जी।
कैंप्स हुए कि नहीं हुए, कोर इशू है।
जी हाँ, 10 कैंप नहीं हुए 10 जिलों में, यही कोर इशू है।
ये मैं बता रहा हूँ, सुनो उसके बाद आगे तो।
और उसमें जो लुइस जी ने जो चेकलिस्ट दी, चेकलिस्ट का मतलब क्या होता है कि वहां पर काम हो गया और वहां पर 2 अधिकारी साइन करते हैं। मैं अपने भाइयों को बताना चाह रहा हूँ, 2 अधिकारी साइन करते हैं, साइन करके उसको भारत सरकार को दिया जाता है। और वो जो भारत सरकार ने जांच शुरू करी है, भारत सरकार ने चिट्ठी उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार को लिखी है। आप ही के मुकुल वासनिक जो कैबिनेट कोलीग हैं, उनके अंडर सेक्रेटरी ने लिखी है।
आई विल हैव टू आस्क यू टू लीव।
अरे सर, ये क्या बात?
नो, आई विल हैव टू आस्क यू। आई एम सेइंग दिस।
सर आप देखिए, जो
अच्छा एक बात कर सकता हूँ मैं, आपसे एक बात कर सकता हूँ। कैन योर कॉलीग आस्क मी क्वेश्चन? आप चुप हो जाइए।
सलमान भाई, कोर इशू पे मुझे सवाल तो करने दीजिए, इतना तो हक बनता है।
आपका कॉलीग पूछते हैं मुझसे।
क्या मैं पूछ रहा हूँ?
नहीं, मैं आपसे नहीं।
मैं सलमान भाई, अरे आप मुझे पूछने दीजिए ना, मुझे तो सवाल पूछने का।
बात सुनो यार, मुझे जवाब देंगे यार सर, मुझे जवाब देंगे प्लीज।
सलमान भाई मुझे
He's asked me a question. He's asked me a question. I will give you a reply. If you think I am replying to him, then please tell him to shut up. If you think I am not replying,
अब ऐसी भाषा का प्रयोग ना करें।
you can't do to me.
आप देश के कानून मंत्री हैं, आप देश के कानून मंत्री हैं साहब। ऐसा सवाल तो ऐसे तो मत करिए। हमने गरीबों की ही बात करी है, हमने विकलांगों की ही बात उठाई है।
Yes.
जो अरे भाई सवाल का जवाब, अरे भाई आप मुझे अरे मुझे तो पूछने दीजिए। अरे मुझे सवाल तो पूछने दीजिए, सवाल तो पूछने दीजिए। अरे नहीं, सवाल तो पूछने दीजिए। आप मुझे सवाल तो पूछने, अरे क्या बात कर रहे हैं? सवाल पूछने दीजिए, सवाल पूछने दीजिए। अरे क्या अरे हमें सवाल पूछने दीजिए।
आपने अभी भी दीपक के सवाल का जवाब नहीं दिया कि मैडम ने वो
आपने रिपोर्ट सरकार को दी है, आप डिनाई करिए.
Ask him to shut up, I will answer you. Please listen carefully. You are recording it. Please listen carefully. Please listen carefully. Please listen carefully. There is an affidavit which is questioned both by the person named in the affidavit as the signatory, as well as you, that this is not a genuine affidavit. Fine? That affidavit was ostensibly given in the name of J.B. Singh. Fine? J.B. Singh has categorically said this is not my affidavit. Fine? A copy of that affidavit that we received from the office of Viklang Adhikari, we gave to India Today. Fine? India Today checked and rejected that affidavit. Fine? Now what can I do today is to say more than this, that this affidavit too will be inquired into by the UP government. What more do you want me to say?
लेकिन ये नकली हलफनामा आपने भेजा साहब, आपने अपने बचाव में भेजा, आपका प्राइमरी बचाव ये था.
I'm seeing.
अरे क्या बात कर रहे हैं साहब? आप तो वकील हैं.
You are repeating what I am saying. Please listen.
हमने
भेजा.
आपने भेजा नकली
Why are you not
हलफनामा.
listening?
नकली हलफनामा.
Why are you not listening?
आप कहिए नकली हलफनामा भेजा आपने.
See, now I want to tell all of you. I want to tell all of you why I didn't want India Today to come here. मरता क्या नहीं करता.
अरे आप सवाल नहीं सुनना चाह रहे हैं. आप असली सवाल,
जब मैं बोल रहा हूँ,
आप असली सवाल नहीं सुनना चाह रहे. कोर इशू आप नहीं सुन रहे.
What was
जो
the ground rule?
क्वेश्चन है वो यही
I
है.
said, please.
अरे साहब सवाल तो शमीम भाई सवाल तो करने
Please listen. मैं जवाब दे रहा हूँ, आप सुन नहीं रहे. मैं कह रहा हूँ, a copy of that affidavit submitted by the trust is an affidavit that you have rejected, an affidavit that the person named in it has said this is not my affidavit. I am saying this, but it has to be inquired into.
But why has Khurshid submitted that?
How does she know that this affidavit is not a genuine affidavit? We got it from the UP government office. How does she know? How does she know this is not a genuine affidavit? Why did you not ask that the gentleman who was present to give the implements was the same gentleman who today is not giving a clear idea whether he was present? Did that gentleman say to you, I was present but I have not given this affidavit? Did he say I was present? Did he say to you, I was present but I didn't give the affidavit?
बताइए ना.
Did he say I was present in the camp? Did he say I was present?
आपका जो आपने जो कैंप लगाया उसमें कहाँ प्रेजेंट है? जो आपका जो चेकलिस्ट है, इस चेकलिस्ट में ना उसके साइन है ना उसमें प्रेजेंट है. वो ये कह रहा है. आप सुन लीजिए, आप उससे बात कर लीजिए. आप कोई तस्वीर दिखा देंगे जिससे हम
मत मानिए ना, आप मत मानिए.
आप कोई भी तस्वीर दिखा देंगे. आप किसी भी विकलांग को लाके खड़े कर देंगे. बात तो उस चेकलिस्ट की है, उन 10 जिलों की है. वो जो 10 जिले हैं, उनकी बात करिए. जो 10 जिले हैं उनकी बात करिए. जो सवाल है, सवाल 10 जिलों का है. नहीं, आप देश के कानून मंत्री हैं. आप देश के कानून, आपको जवाब देना होगा. आपको जवाब देना होगा. सलमान साहब, आपको जवाब देना होगा. देश के गरीबों की खबर है, आपको जवाब देना होगा. आप जवाब देंगे.
Stop pointing at me. Stop pointing at me.
आप जवाब देंगे.
You stop pointing at me.
क्यों नहीं कर सकते? हम इस देश के नागरिक हैं. हम इस देश के नागरिक हैं. हम सवाल पूछेंगे. आप इस हलफनामे पे बोलिए. इस हलफनामे पे बोलिए. आप
It's not one press conference that you will attend in your
आप
life.
इस हलफनामे पे बोलिए.
One press conference. Do you know what it is? You know what this is? This is his life. His life in
not at
trouble.
all.
His life in trouble because he is produced filthy, wrong statements.
No, not at all.
I will see you in court.
आज तक हो गया कि जो काम जाकिर हुसैन ट्रस्ट ने किया, अगर ये किसी और ट्रस्ट ने किया होता तो अब तक ब्लैक लिस्ट कर दिया जाता है. मगर खुर्शीद साहब, आपका और मैडम का इस कदर खौफ है कि कोई उन्हें छू नहीं सकता. मुकुल वासनिक would not touch them. Mr. R.V. Puri, Under Secretary in the Social Welfare Ministry.
But I know this. This is not a sting. This is not a sting. You've got an opinion. Will you please listen? I am saying Give me your final verdict on whether the camps were held. We will go into all this. I said the rules of the game will be that we will first prove that the camps were held. Then we will see about all this.
आर्मी पुलिस साहब तो उनका मोटिव क्या है? वो कह रहे यस मैम बताइए.
मोटिव नहीं बताऊंगा. I know the motive को बताऊंगा.
ऐसा है, you have been economical with the
अब फिर रूल्स ऑफ द गेम दिखा.
मेरे सवाल का जवाब देंगे मैडम.
जिस तरीके से वो कर रहे हैं, जिस तरीके से उन्होंने कहा कि इस्तीफा नहीं देंगे, हम धरना देते रहेंगे लगातार प्रधानमंत्री घर के बाहर कहीं उस पर क्या कहना चाहेंगे आप?
कुछ नहीं कहूँगा.
जब तक इस्तीफा नहीं देंगे हम
उस पर मैं क्यों कहूँगा? पार्टी की तरफ से, गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से जो जवाब मिलना है वो जवाब मिलेगा. आई एम अ सोल्जर ऑफ द पार्टी. आई एम नॉट इम्पोर्टेंट. द पार्टी इज इम्पोर्टेंट. द गवर्नमेंट इज इम्पोर्टेंट. Everybody knows that. It will not take me 1 minute to take the decision that is in the interest of my party and my government. Kejriwal does not have to exert himself. And whatever I'll do, will not do it for Kejriwal. I'll do it for my own conscience, not for Kejriwal. नहीं मिलेगा आपका जवाब. नहीं. In a press conference, you don't answer every question. No? You answer some question, you don't answer some. You can say that. No problem.
आपसे और लुइस के ये सवाल आप 17 जिलों में सभी कैंप हुए थे, इसमें 71 लाख जो आपको मिला था, इसमें आपकी वजह से या किसी और अधिकारी जो आपके ट्रस्ट में काम करता है कोई गड़बड़ झाला नहीं हुआ है? क्या ये अफर्मेटिव देते हैं?
यस, मैं कहता हूँ. लेकिन एक बात सुनिए ना. अब आप कल मुझे कह देंगे कि एक को पंक्चर्ड साइकिल मिल गई थी. मैं ये कह रहा हूँ कि जो ये we can say with reasonable confidence कि हमने जो कहा है वही हुआ है. ऐसा हो सकता है. मैं ये नहीं कहता हूँ ऐसा नहीं हो सकता है कि आप 2000, 3000, 4000 लोगों को कुछ इम्प्लीमेंट दें, उसमें 2-4 को शिकायत रह जाए, ना मिले, कुछ बात हो. और इसलिए जिन लोगों के इन्होंने क्लिप्स दिखाए कि उन्होंने कहा मुझे नहीं मिला, उन्होंने हमें ये बताया कि इन्होंने लालच ये दी कि तुम ये कहोगे तो हम तुमको कुछ देंगे, और बिना दे के चले आए.
गलत बात कर रहे हैं. मेरे पास गलत बात, बहुत गलत बात है. बिल्कुल गलत बात है. क्या बात कर रहे हैं आप? एग्जीक्यूटिव सवाल उठा रहे हैं.
या एब्सोल्युटली.
और अब हमारे मोटिव्स आप क्वेश्चन कर रहे हैं.
Don't shout.
अब मेरी बारी है चिल्लाने की.
Absolutely, I filed a case on you. ये कह रहे हैं कि आप हमारी विश्वसनीयता पर सवाल उठा रहे. I filed a case on you. I filed a case of defamation case.
आप मेरे दोनों सवालों का जवाब नहीं दिया. आपने दोनों सवालों का जवाब नहीं दिया है.
Please. You must ask. See, tell me, did I not say that you must take responsibility for them? Did I not say you must take responsibility? Yeah.
Can you please explain?
We cannot. No. Listen, we cannot explain the mysterious affidavit till such time as the inquiry that the UP government will do. They will find out, because the affidavit came from their office. It came from their officer. It is now being seen as a disputed affidavit.
I just want to ask one question. During the एक सेकंड मैं सवाल पूछूं.
Let me go.
I just want to ask one question. I'm a little puzzled. To begin with, they're saying that this particular, you're saying JB Singh signed, but he's not signed on this. What they don't know, when you want to go into a project, find out how a project works. For instance, it's not 17 camps that were held. It's 34 camps that were held. Because the way this project works, the way ADIP works, first you have an assessment camp. आफ्टर यू एसेस, भाई किसको जयपुर फुट चाहिए, किसको बैसाखी चाहिए, किसको किस तरह के व्हील चेयर चाहिए, किसको ट्राइसिकल चाहिए, असेसमेंट के बाद उसके बाद आप प्रोजेक्ट रिपोर्ट डाल देते हैं, उसके बाद मिनिस्ट्री आपको पैसे दे देते हैं और आखिर में ऑर्डर करने के बाद आप वितरण करते हैं। ये जो प्रश्न चिन्ह था, जो आपका सो कॉल्ड सीएजी रिपोर्ट का जो प्रश्न चिन्ह था कि आपने कहा कि कैंप हुआ जनवरी में, मगर आपने सामान खरीदा अप्रैल में, तो इसका मतलब कैंप हुआ नहीं। असल बात यह है कि हाँ कैंप हुआ जनवरी में, प्रशिक्षण कैंप हुआ, असेसमेंट हुआ जनवरी में, पैसा मिला अप्रैल में और वितरण हुआ उसके बाद। कैंप्स 2 होते हैं, 17 नहीं 34 कैंप हुआ है। ये जो बार बार दिखा रहे टेलीविजन पे कि ये टेस्ट चेक में प्रश्न चिन्ह है, ये भी ये नहीं जानते हैं कि टेस्ट चेक्स गए, एक एक जिले से यूपी सरकार को टेस्ट चेक गए, मगर उस टेस्ट चेक का फॉर्मेट गलत था। ये होना चाहिए, और ये मैं डॉकेट हमने इंडिया टुडे को दिया और बहुत तफसील से समझाया उनको। ये देखिए, ये संत रविदास नगर का है, टेस्ट चेक इस ऐसे होना चाहिए और दिया उन्होंने ऐसे। ये देख लीजिए, एक सेकंड अभी आप देखिए, मैं एक्सप्लेन कर रही हूँ।
ये तो आपने दिया ना जो फर्जी,
ठीक है, तो ऐसे होना चाहिए। 15 तारीख को 15 मार्च को इन द प्रेजेंस ऑफ द सेक्रेटरी मिस्टर आचार्य ऑफ द सोशल जस्टिस मिनिस्ट्री, एडिशनल सेक्रेटरी एंड जॉइंट सेक्रेटरी, हमारे सारे कागज सब सही था, मगर सेक्रेटरी ने कहा फॉर्मेट गलत है। मैंने कहा देखिए, अगर फॉर्मेट गलत है, इस वक्त अगर आप यूपी सरकार को लिखेंगे कि 17 जिलों का टेस्ट चेक फॉर्मेट दोबारा बदल देना, तो आप 25 तारीख तक आप ये कंप्लीट नहीं हो पाएंगे और 17 जिले में कैंप नहीं होगा। हमें कोई एतराज नहीं, हम कैंप के लिए अप्लाई नहीं करेंगे। आचार्य साहब ने कहा कि 17 जिलों में फिर कैंप होगा नहीं, तो मेहरबानी करके, क्योंकि आपका सारा सब कुछ सही है, कैंप्स हुआ है, आपको सिर्फ फॉर्मेट बदलना है। 3 लोगों के प्रेजेंस में उन्होंने कहा प्लीज आप एक आदमी को भेज दीजिए और ये टेस्ट चेक सही फॉर्मेट पे करके ले आइए, और इसका भी हमने लिख के दोबारा लिख किया कि मैं अपने आदमी को भेज रहे आपके कहने से, वो भी इनके रिकॉर्ड्स में है हमारे। एक सेकंड,
फॉर्मेट पे हम बात नहीं कर रहे, हम सिग्नेचर के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं।
लीजिए,
हम फॉर्मेट के बारे में बात ही नहीं कर रहे हैं कि फॉर्मेट सही था या गलत था, हम उसके बारे में बात ही नहीं कर रहे।
अरे बोले तो दो। फर्रुखाबाद कैंप जो ओरिजिनल टेस्ट चेक था, फर्रुखाबाद का ओरिजिनल टेस्ट चेक राम अनुराग वर्मा जो विकलांग कल्याण अधिकारी थे, उन्होंने ओरिजिनल टेस्ट चेक किया, ओरिजिनल टेस्ट चेक, और राम अनुराग वर्मा का सिग्नेचर आज तक वालों को इसलिए जानते कि उन्होंने आरटीआई डाला, और मेरे सामने प्रबल प्रताप सिंह और आपने दीपक शर्मा ने सिग्नेचर्स कंपेयर किया हर एक पन्ने पे, जो कैंप नहीं हुआ है।
मैडम गलत रिपोर्ट दिखा रही है, ये राम अनुराग वर्मा की असली रिपोर्ट है, ये रिपोर्ट है, और इसमें राम अनुराग वर्मा ने लिखा है कि आपकी चेकलिस्ट फर्जी है, और हमारे स्टिंग ऑपरेशन में भी बोला है। मत करिए, ये राम अनुराग वर्मा की असली रिपोर्ट है, ये मेरे पास है, इस रिपोर्ट को गलत बता दीजिए, मैं जल्दीदम छोड़ दूंगा, इसको बता दिए गलत है। मैं बता रहा हूँ, अरे गलत चीज बोल रही है, ये बताइए ना आप कौन
May I explain? But tell him to stop heckling me, ना? आप उनको कहिए पहले, हम explain करेंगे।
सीबीआई जाए
और क्लियर हो जाए कि सचमुच में क्या गलत है क्या सही है।
ऑल्सो सर
सिंपल यूपी गवर्नमेंट की
बात सुनिए, इस पे इंक्वायरी हो, आई हैव नो प्रॉब्लम, लेकिन इंक्वायरी में इंडिया टुडेज परफॉर्मेंस ऑल्सो मस्ट बी इंक्लूडेड, दिस इज माई डिमांड। This is my demand. No, India Today cannot escape. India Today also should be in the inquiry, like the Murdoch inquiry is taken place in London. Let there be inquiry on India Today also. No problem at all. No problem at all. Inquiry can be held by anybody of completely of high standing. It can be the CAG who can hold the.
एक second.
You are not talking to me as cabinet minister.
One moment. Please let me explain what I was explaining. ये कह रहे हैं ना कि दूसरा किसी का नाम क्यों है? ओरिजिनल राम अनुराग वर्मा ने भेज दिया. जब हमारे आदमी दोबारा गए असल फॉर्मेट में करने के लिए, तब, और ये आप चेक कर सकते हैं, राम अनुराग वर्मा की बीवी कैंसर है, वो बम्बई गए हुए थे, इसलिए किसी और ने दूसरा टेस्ट चेक साइन किया, वो था मिस्टर पोडवाल और उसके साथ साथ तहसीलदार कायमगंज. जब आप लोग आए थे मेरे पास, मैंने उनसे आपसे पूछा, मैंने कहा आप कह रहे राम अनुराग वर्मा की चिट्ठी से आप कह रहे कि पोडवाल का सिग्नेचर साइन है. क्या आपने मिस्टर पोडवाल से बात किया?
हमने राम अनुराग वर्मा से बात करी और देखिए राम अनुराग वर्मा ने ऑन रिकॉर्ड कहा है कि ये प्रैक्टिस फर्जी है, सिग्नेचर फर्जी है. अरे भैया राम अनुराग वर्मा कह रहे हैं, आप गलत बात करी तो हम कहेंगे नहीं.
आंसर सुन लो ना.
ठीक है संजय भाई, सही है. हाँ,
मैंने इनसे पूछा कि राम अनुराग वर्मा कह रहे कि पोडवाल का सिग्नेचर फर्जी है. क्या आपने पोडवाल से पूछा? और उनका जवाब था हमें पोडवाल से पूछने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है. क्यों? जिसने साइन किया, जिसका मोहर है, आप उनसे नहीं पूछेंगे, किसी और से पूछेंगे? ये कैसा इंसाफ है? तभी तो मैंने इंक्वायरी मांगा है. आप यहाँ पे अपना सफाई देने के लिए आए, आप सफाई अपना कोर्ट में दीजिए. यहाँ पे सबके सफाई देने की कोई फायदा नहीं.
क्योंकि आप गुमराह कर रहे हैं, हम सच बोल रहे हैं. जो आप कागज दिखाती है हमारे पास असली कागज है.
प्लीज आपके
कागज बताती है गलत.
यार आपके जितने क्वेश्चन का जवाब दे सकते थे दे दिया. आपको अच्छे लगे ना लगे, डजंट मैटर. बट नाउ
आप लॉ मिनिस्टर बने रहेंगे तो एक इंडिपेंडेंट इंक्वायरी की उम्मीद कैसे की जा सकती है?
आपके अरुण पुरी अगर बने रहेंगे इसके
मेरे सवाल का जवाब दीजिए.
ना, आप मेरे जवाब.
मैं आपसे सिंपल सवाल
पूछ रहा हूँ.
मेरा सवाल आपसे ये है,
मेरा सिंपल सवाल.
प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस आपका है सर.
प्लीज आप सुनिए. Are you here to ask me to leave? Are you an activist or are you a journalist? You've asked me a journalist. As a journalist, you've asked me what is proper, what is the right thing to do. My government will take that decision. My leadership will take that decision. Don't worry about this. Please, will you tell me what you will do when you are found wrong?
But unfortunately, you haven't answered a single question of mine or Deepak's.
Unfortunately, you have not. Unfortunately, you have not adhered to the rules of the game. If you please confirm to me that you are wrong about the holding of the camps, I will answer your other questions.
Also, sir, it's not just about Mr. JB Singh. Sir, it's not just about Mr. JB Singh. Mr. Ramraj Singh Yadav.
One person from it.
Sir, one more affidavit. Sir, one more affidavit which is in question. I haven't asked. I'm from Headlines to a different channel, sir. Mr. Ramraj Singh Yadav. That's another affidavit that has been denied. One by Mr. Ramraj Singh Yadav. What's your? So Mr. Ramraj Singh Yadav has written a letter. He has also denied giving an affidavit to.
I can't answer what anybody.
I'm from a separate channel, sir. Mr. Ramraj Singh Yadav has also denied giving an affidavit.
We read the Times magazine. Yeah, we read the Times of India. Now, I can't go and seek him out.
It was on the basis of this affidavit by Mr. Ramraj Singh Yadav that you got the budget for the subsequent year.
It is not on that basis, but nevertheless, this letter has to be explained. But it was not on the basis of this letter. Please.
But nonetheless,
not
at all. Letter that is.
See, I can't argue if you come with a fixed mind. I'm saying there will be an inquiry. There will be an inquiry. The UP government will indicate what is correct, what is not correct. We'll see after that.
But sir, why so many?
रिपोर्ट जो है वो पब्लिक डोमेन में है. हर कोई ये दिखा के घूम रहा है. उसमें एक संयुक्त सचिव जॉइंट सेक्रेटरी या स्पेशल सेक्रेटरी का सिग्नेचर है, सागर करके, जिसमें लिखा गया है अनिल सागर. जिसमें
क्या है कहाँ का है ये?
जिसमें ये पूछा गया है, इसमें लिखा गया है कि जो 10 कैंप हुए थे.
हाँ, इसी को तो हम लोगों ने मांगा है ना इंक्वायरी.
हाँ, कि ये रिपोर्ट का क्या मतलब है, इसका पहली चीज. दूसरी चीज आपने सलमान साहब ये कहा कि मैंने काउंटर स्टिंग करवाया है.
हाँ.
कानून मंत्री अगर काउंटर स्टिंग कराएगा
हाँ।
तो उसमें आपको लगता है कि इनका जो स्टिंग था वो फेयर नहीं था और आपके लोग जो करेंगे वो फेयर होगा?
काउंटर स्टिंग बता नहीं, फेयर की बात नहीं करो, बात तो सुनो यार। काउंटर स्टिंग समझो ना, काउंटर स्टिंग इन्होंने एक आदमी को दिखाया, कहा मुझे कुछ नहीं मिला, राइट? अगर मैं उससे पूछूं तो मैं मिला और वो कहे हाँ मिला, तो हम वो दिखा दें। आप तय कर लेना कि इनका सही है या मेरा सही है।
ये कह रहे हैं कि अदालत देकर पूछा गया स्टिंग।
अरे नहीं, उसको दिखाएंगे ना, तुम्हारे पास कोई चीज है कि नहीं, तुम्हें कुछ मिला है कि नहीं, वो पूछेंगे ना। या इनकी बात मान लूं, मैं इनकी बात मान लूं, नहीं मान लूं ना, मुझे जाके उस आदमी से पूछना पड़ेगा जिसको मैंने दिया कि भाई तुमने ऐसा क्यों कह दिया। वो कह रहा है हम समझ रहे थे, वो हमें कुछ और दे देंगे। आप ये सब आएगा ना, अभी मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि ये सारी चीजें आने दीजिए। We'll have more press conferences and you will decide। ना ये भागे जा रहे हैं ना मैं भागे जा रहा हूँ। ये रिपोर्ट, ये जो सारी सिचुएशन आई है वो इस रिपोर्ट की वजह से आई है कि इस रिपोर्ट की सिचुएशन ऐसे अराइज हुई जब किसी ने ये कहा कि कोई कैंप नहीं हुआ, तो इन्होंने कहा कि ये कैंप नहीं हुआ, कोई कह रहा है। तो गवर्नमेंट ने यहाँ कहा कि कैंप नहीं हुआ, कोई कह रहा है। इसका जवाब क्या है, क्लैरिफिकेशन क्या है? वो क्लैरिफिकेशन जो हम आपको दे रहे हैं वो गवर्नमेंट को दिया। इसमें किसी ने कहा आप एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट में हैं, आपको एक फोन किया, ये सिग्नेचर आपके हैं, आपने देखे, कहा मेरे सिग्नेचर नहीं है। क्यों? क्योंकि ये सिग्नेचर आपके थे ही नहीं, किसी और के थे। उससे नहीं पूछ रहे हैं कि ये तुम्हारे सिग्नेचर हैं, आपसे ये भी नहीं पूछ रहे हैं कि अगर ये तुम्हारे सिग्नेचर नहीं है तो ये किसके हैं। तो आप बोलोगे मेरे प्रीडिसेसर के होंगे, उससे पूछ लीजिए। तो हम सिर्फ ये बोल रहे हैं कि जिस टाइम पे ये टेस्ट चेक हुए उस टाइम पे वहां जो अफसर था उस अफसर से पूछ लीजिए। अब हम पूछेंगे तो ये कहेंगे फर्जी लेटर ले आए, इसलिए हमने सरकार से कहा कि आप बुलाकर पूछ लीजिए। वो हाँ बोलता है तो वहां पता चल जाएगा, ना बोलता है तो वहां पता चल जाएगा। इसमें प्रॉब्लम क्या है? नो प्रॉब्लम। You want this? You want it back? नहीं, देखो ऐसा नहीं, बात सुनो। नहीं, रिपोर्ट नहीं है ये। देखो, दिस इज बेस्ड ऑन एक रिकॉर्ड जब बनता है ना मिनिस्ट्री में, तो जो एक रिकॉर्ड ये बना कि एक हमने फोन किया, उसने कहा ये मेरे सिग्नेचर नहीं है। एक हमने फोन किया, उन्होंने कहा यहाँ कोई कैंप हुआ नहीं। ऐसा सही हो सकता है कि उन्होंने फोन किया कि 22 तारीख को जुलाई को आपके यहाँ कैंप हुआ, कि साहब नहीं हुआ कैंप। उसको मान लिया कि कैंप ही नहीं हुआ, 22 की जगह 24 को हुआ या 25 को हुआ। उनसे ये कहा गया कि और कुछ मत बोलो, तुम 22 का बताओ यार 22 को हुआ कि नहीं हुआ। ये वहां कुछ हो रहा था, इसीलिए हमने इंक्वायरी मांगी है। The fact is, आप ये ये लेटर तो गवर्नमेंट में गया था ना हमारे पास, इसलिए क्योंकि ये गवर्नमेंट ने इस लेटर के बेसिस पे ट्रस्ट को लेटर भेजा कि हमारे पास ये चिट्ठी आई, क्लैरिफिकेशन दे दीजिए। टाइम लगता है ना, तो जब हमने क्लैरिफिकेशन के लिए हमने कहा कि 1 महीना दीजिए, और उस महीने में हम सब लोगों को इकट्ठा करते हैं। अब पता नहीं कौन अफसर कहाँ है, तो इसलिए सरकार से कहा कि आप पता करके बता दीजिए।
ये सारी बातें जो आप मीडिया को बता रहे हैं, क्या आपने कांग्रेस आला कमान को भी बातें बताई है? क्या वो संतुष्ट है आपसे?
मुझे ये आपको ये मैं आपको नहीं बताऊंगा कि ये मैंडेट नहीं है इस प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस। Whatever you call it, inquiry or what. Yeah, provided I will be open to that, provided India today is also probed. I want their role to be probed as well. No problem. They can say we made an allegation, you be probed. They must be probed as well, because I believe they are saying I'm casting aspersions on their integrity. I am, and that's why I've gone to court. If I go to court and say they are wonderful people, they're telling the truth about me, then why won't I go to court? I've gone to court. The court can tell me you are wrong. The court can tell them you are wrong. And they have no problem about things going to court in a civilized manner, where these people will not be able to stand up and start shouting at the judge. It will go in a civilized manner. Their lawyer will say, no, we are justified in what we have done. Our lawyer will say they're not justified.
The solution is an independent inquiry. You don't think that's...
No. Independent inquiry can take place, but I'm saying that the independent inquiry must deal with them also, because they also have something to do with this false affidavit. We are being accused of having something to do with false affidavit. So the inquiry should find out who's responsible for what. If they are responsible for that false affidavit, they must answer. They must answer. My worry is, having said all the things I've said about Arun Puri, my worry is the poor Arun Puri has been taken for a ride. He's been taken for a ride. But he must take responsibility, as I must take responsibility for being the chairman of the trust. I don't think anyone is saying that I've signed, I've given, I have written, I've asked. But I take responsibility because it's been done by my wife. It's been done by a wife who is a steady partner for me in my public life, and it's been done by my wife in the trust that I had. Yeah, absolutely, I take responsibility.
This is the last question, Fukan.